find it at Peaceful Valley Farm Supply. It's made of paraffin and it comes perforated, so it rips off into nice little perfect pieces, which is great. That's too big, I'm going to do something else. Let's try this. Now, I'm going to cheat by putting this piece right back on this piece. So of course they're going to fit, but ordinarily you'd go find another piece, match up the sizes, and say, oh, those look pretty good. But I have two nice long cuts. The biggest problem that beginners have is they make too stubby a cut. It's not a deep enough angle. You can actually clean it up a little with a mat knife. This looks pretty clean, but I don't want any of the white wood inside sticking up above the cambium. So I look to the side, do I see any wood sticking up? I don't. You don't want your sign any longer than about, and that's too long, about 5 buds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buds is plenty. That's plenty big enough. If there's a bud that's going to be where you wrap it, I just peel it off with my finger.
Do you not want the tip of a branch for your sign?
You don't need it. Do I not want the very tip? No, you can, any place along the wood is perfectly suitable, but because I have a cut tip right here, it tends to lose moisture. So I'm going to cover it with some buddy tape.
But it's okay if you have the tip.
You don't have to have the absolute tip, no, not at all. I'm actually going to wrap the whole thing. Not all the way down. Okay, so I've covered it with some wax to keep it from drying out. Now I'm going to make my tongue. And this is the other invention I came up with. Not only can you use your old socks, you can use your old CDs. Because, you know, you go, and then it goes away, and I don't need 2 CDs, I only need 1.
Extra insurance.
Extra insurance. About 1/3 of the way down from the very top of this oval, I'm going to start a cut that goes straight. Try not to cut back towards the bark because you don't want to do that. Get the old thumbs out of the way. I'll turn it sideways so you can see what I'm doing. Almost down to the bottom. And then I'm going to do the same thing on my rootstock. I'm going to shave this a little bit cleaner. Almost down. And then I sort of pry it apart a little bit. This is something I often forget to do. Remember to take the CD off. Or else you have it on your tree forever.
I'm scared of deer.
The great thing about the whip, the tongue, is that it holds itself together. You could graft just 2 slanted pieces, but you can't walk away, get the rest of your tools, and come back. I'm going to look at it from here. I don't see any air when I look through the graft. Look at it on the other side. It looks pretty good. Press it tightly together, and now I'm going to wrap it.
How have you been doing this?
Oh, I don't know, 6 years maybe. It's really, you know, it takes a little skill to do the cuts, but you can do really klutzy cuts and have them work.
They have pretty cheap tools now available. I got a nice tool for $29 that does all this.
You got a tool like this gentleman says he has a tool that does this. Yeah. You got this for $29?
Not that one, but I got one for $29.
This is a cheater tool. What's it called? It's called an Omega tool.
Yeah.
This costs $75, and you make about 5 grafts, and your hands are so tired you can't do any more. But it does. I don't, you know, I'm a purist. So I start way below my cuts so that it's, and then I'm going to pull it tight here. I'm going to pull it really tight as I go around. I want to lock all the air out. I want cambium pressed against cambium.
So why are you using the green tape and not the buddy?
Because like the buddy tape, you can't pull really hard. It'll break.
Because it's perforated.
Yeah, and yeah, it's too stretchy. So if I really want to stretch it tight,
That green one's the one you're gonna have to take
yeah.
off.
But you just have to take this off. And then I just slip it under itself. That's my graft. Have to shade it.
So you don't wrap the more buddy tape?
Actually, you're right. I'm sorry. I wrapped the present seal.
Thank you.
Yes,
I was watching.
I forgot the step.
You were testing to see if we were watching.
They're testing to see if my brain is still. Yep, that's the crescent seal. I'm enamored of crescent seal. A student came up with this, a student of mine. And then the sock. 4 weeks. Take it off. If the graft has succeeded, you'll see a little growth up there. The very top bud will sprout first. When it gets to be about an inch, I take this off carefully, put the sock back on for about a week. Then I take the sock off, and in sometime midsummer, I take off the green tape. If I've only used buddy tape, I don't have to take it off.
You take all the nodes off above the graft?
I take all the nodes off above the graft. No, because those nodes are my new fruit branches. These,
Right. So you don't need, it doesn't necessarily have to come out very top.
it doesn't have to, but when this graft starts to grow, the first thing that will grow is the tip. That's just the way it happens. And then the lower ones will sprout out. But that's how you tell if you've got a decent graft, it'll grow